Joining us here at the ARA conference in Palm Springs, California is Chemila Tissera with Deutz Corporation as we look at the Tier 4 non-road emission regulations that will take effect in North America on January 1. Chemila, thank you for joining us. What do operators need to know about these regulations? That maybe, they're just about here, kind of, here before we know it. What do they need to keep in mind?
Well, with the new regulations that will come effect starting January, owners, operators of diesel engines, diesel tractors, or if you even have any kind of diesel stationary pumps are affected by these new EPA regulations. Basically, they need to be aware that most likely the engine manufacturers will include after-treatment systems in their diesel engines. Therefore, they'll have to be aware of new electronic control systems and understand how each and every exhaust after-treatment systems work, because it's different. Because so far in the industry, diesel engines were not subjected to any after-treatment systems. Now they will be. So they'll have to understand the differences and also understand the new fuel regulations, because right now these engines, these new clean diesel engines, need ultra-low sulfur diesel fuel. So therefore, they need to make sure they are fueled properly, maintained properly, and then also make sure that their service personnel are properly trained in order to handle the new breed of diesel engines.
So that's going to require some investment in service and training and parts, won't it?
That's correct, exactly, because outgone is the old mechanical controlled engines. Right now, all engines will be very sophisticated, electronically controlled, and very, very efficient than, for example, engine from 20 years ago.
So there are some challenges in making this transition. What are some of the key ones you see?
Well, the challenges would be to train your service personnel, because they need to understand the effects of these engines, because they are sensitive to the fuel level, fuel that you use, and therefore some of the technologies will require DEF, which is diesel exhaust fluid, needs to be replenished if that particular engine is using selective catalytic reduction, also known as SCR systems. So they need to understand the requirements to make sure that these kind of additives are available at their facilities.
Now, we said it goes into effect January 1. How's it going to be enforced? I mean, will there be inspections, or how will they know they're in compliance?
Well, the regulations apply to the engine manufacturer, not to the end user, not to the equipment manufacturer. So as an engine manufacturer, when we manufacture engines starting January 1st, they need to be compliant with the latest regulations. So, but it's up to the owner and operators to make sure that they are maintained according to the regulations.
That'll be the key. I mean, you get the engine, it's up to specs, but then it stays that way.
Exactly, yes. That's where, like I said before, that they need to make sure that they invest on the service and training of their service personnel.
All right. Chemila Tissera with Deutz Corporation with us here at the ARA conference in Palm Springs, California.